brand new openings in this series. Hello, Jason. Thank you very much. All right. Here comes the Pegasus plunge. Knight into d5. Oh, and he took it. All right. You know, the funny thing is taking and playing knight d4 is not actually that bad. Like, if I take here, queen e7, it's actually could be serious problems for me. So that's not what we're interested in here. It's actually this move. Surprising. Takes. Now we hit him with this check. There's a deep idea here that the 700s are not ready for. They're not ready. It's the deep move a4. I'm telling you, I don't know about this one. I'm ready to trade queens and play a symmetrical position with these 700s. Really show them a thing or two. Don't think we need to take just yet. Let's keep going with the a pawn. I want to push it to a6. We have this rook which can develop in a strange way. All right, bishop f5. Played one of the most natural looking moves in the position. Let's first start with this move a6, because of course taking would be a huge achievement. So of course we're going to get this. We can take and go bishop to e5 check, which admittedly I kind of like. But if I'm not mistaken, king d1 is a pretty nice move here as well. I'm going to go for something simple. I'm going to take. We got this one coming. Kilimanjaro. Hey, thanks a lot, man. Kind of an annoying check for black to deal with, I think. And I think I want to run my king out to d3, strangely. Let's give it a go. Going all the way out. I'm going all the way out. So hang on. He's got this move, which means I'm probably going to play f4. We got to attack this pawn, so b3. Maybe b4 could have been played as well. Yeah, this I think you guys know. We're going to have to take that. And make our first threat of the game. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. First threat of the entire game. Okay, and there we go. It was all for this, guys. Here is clear. And if that, we have c4 check. It's all been for this. To win one pawn in a rook endgame, folks. Okay, let's go here. Takes, I think I'll take with the pawn and maybe with rook d5. Also get this rook sliding over to b1, potentially. Should, I think, do that one. We got this. We also have rook b7 as a move. We're ready to give up these pawns in order to get that one. So for example here, I would consider that maybe rook d5 first. Because after this, he's threatening rook d2, technically. Rook d5. Rook d7. Yes, this can happen. Yes, that can happen, but then we'll just move the king and this will be defended. In the meantime, I'm taking a few pawns myself. Come back over and take this. Look at that. What a fantastic rook endgame, folks. Can't let that happen. Surprisingly, our king's actually reasonably safe here. Like here, we have this square to hide on. Oops. That's a whole rook. And that's a checkmate. GG. All right, we got the white pieces again. Gonna go with knight f3, and we see d6. Okay, maybe just continue like this for now. Wondering if he's gonna bring the pieces out all the same. So if knight f6, we'll go knight d5, and pretty much the same. Here I might need to take like this, but it's a bit more in the fashion to take this way. Yeah. Thing is, we're not in the exact move order, but whatever. I'll take this way. Make it work. Whoa. Okay, can we do this? This way. I, for some reason, have a feeling bad one about that move for him. So, goodness he didn't do that. Knight g5, knight takes e5 is coming to mind. We are going to be up a pawn here, but obviously I'm looking for better. Let's go here. Okay, I'm happier to take that way. And start with a check. If queen e7, we can actually take here, and this will actually be really effective. You can't take it because it's pinned, and then your rook ends up trapped in the aftermath here. Ooh, that actually hangs just about everything. That hangs a little bit of everything. Could take another pawn, but I'm gonna go for a trade. I think that's more important. We're up a lot of material, so we just need to trade. Okay, now we can't castle as well. Leafs. Leafs, baby. Right here. Let's go. Let's go. KO for the Leafs. Oh, great stuff. That's why we're always streaming with the Leafs jersey on. Got to bring good luck to the boys. Made in one, by the way. Oh, resignation. Okay, weird. He was here the whole time. He just decided to think for his entire time and then resign. All right. Okay, against e4, we're playing e5. Okay. And we're waiting to see what what white does here. Okay, 97, knight g6 is pretty much what we're doing. Most of the openings with the black pieces involve this. You know what I noticed? At the candidates event, it was the same thing. Did you notice? Did you guys notice in the candidates, there was a ton of 97, knight g6. d6, queen out. Okay, bishop e3. I don't really want to take that, to be honest with you. Let's just go here. Play d6. Castle. Of course, I want queen f6 and knight there, but... Okay. Yeah, I want to do this and this, but knight d5 hurts me right now, so... Okay, I think we're happy to see this, especially if we see capture. That would be fantastic. So I think we jump in with knight, just to watch the d5 square. I hope he takes. It'd be really nice for me. He makes a better move, knight in, but you know what? We can recycle this knight to the exact same square. And this is what I was talking about. Knight here, queen here with the bishop from c8. That alone is enough to make meaningful threats to win. Please d4, it's kind of a good move. Especially like if I take, I don't really have an advantage. So I'm going to try e4. Knight needs to move, maybe f5 or bishop f5 there. This pawn is also hanging, but so is mine. So I don't think I can take it just yet. I think it's going to have to be f5. I'm kind of threatening this. Maybe c4 will get played. Plays this. Thank you very much. I'm going to push. e3, f4. I don't even want this pawn. I want to make sure I secure this one. That's the most important. This knight's really bad from that square. And we can bring this knight in. Again, no interest in the pawn. Zero at this point. All I want to do is bring my pieces onto this side of the board. I got e2 once I bring a rook to e8. And I feel like we're doing well here. Queen g5. Okay. Covers e2, but not bishop takes h3. So let's grab the free pawn while we can. Goes to h1. Might still have to move the bishop. I'm going to try not to, though. Rook here. Takes rook h5. Looks pretty good. Yeah, we're not going to take because then the queen will go there. We're going to play rook h5 first and then take to win material and lead to mate. There we go. There's a nice attack there. Alpaca dad. All right. e4, d6. No, we don't really have anything against this. I wonder if it's going to be d6 with g6. I feel like it is. Like maybe he goes back into this. I feel like it's unlikely, you know? It's probably going to go for this. I don't know. This leaves it kind of open-ended. I guess we'll just develop. But he's going to play this and this. Yeah, I was going to say. Of course, he's playing g6. We don't... Yeah, nothing too special against stuff like this. I'll just play f3 and go for this setup. This, guard our center pawn, maybe castle, and start pushing h4, h5. Okay, h4 is my next move. This looks like a whole lot of nothing. I don't really know what it threatens, so I think I'm going to just play h4. Okay, it goes d5. I mean, to be quite honest with you, it did threaten that. I was just like, no big deal. Let's start with a3. I'm going to force the knight to retreat somewhere. And I guess, I mean, we could kind of just blindly continue like that. See how this goes. I mean, very dangerous here, but at least if I'm getting rid of the bishop, I'm kind of alleviating that initial problem. This is a very interesting move. Maybe unintentionally, because taking here just wins material. Okay, I'll do it. This one is with a check, and if I bring my queen back, then I haven't won anything, but I think we can just move our king. And black obviously has to recapture the queen. So we only won the exchange there, but yeah, we did win something. If we play bishop a6, we might win more material, although technically bishop b7 would be a good answer to that. Yeah, I think we want to just take this. Bishop a6 is always there. Bishop b7 is always a good answer. Takes. Okay. Decent move there. It's a tough move to spot bishop b7, so we might actually see knight b6. That would make a little bit more sense as a reaction to this. He's in the think tank here. Very tough move to spot, but if you realize you can't move this bishop, maybe you end up defending the bishop. That little is a helpful one to have. Okay. Just go like this, and then I think bring the other rook to d7, which will actually be checkmate. It's actually a decent move. The rook's hanging, so if you move the rook, you do get mated. If you don't move the rook, then you lose it. Looks like a little bit of both. We'll go like this. GG. All right, let's go. My favorite one. My favorite opening we've come up with. A3, the undefeated. In this opening, I'm playing the undefeated, but from the other side. But they don't realize it. I'm just playing it with an extra A3 move. Otherwise, it's the exact same opening. Look, let's see how my opponent handles this. For example, terribly. This trick will probably win you a lot of games. I mean, I don't have to sit here and talk about how good the undefeated is. You guys already know. Greatest opening of all time. Come on now. But now we get to play it with both sides. This is perfect. Hello, Caballo. Thank you, sir. If this, maybe we move our queen one of these two squares, and we should be able to take this pawn next. Remember, we're up a full piece here that we took, so we're in great shape. Okay, that's a good move, though. We need to be careful about this. This is pretty fair. I can't really say no to a queen trade. I know it's a piece trade, but a free pawn in the center of the board, that's going to get my attention. And another trade now that I've done that. This is great. All right, maybe this one next. Got the bishop pair. Helps to have the bishop pair when you're up a whole piece as well. There we go. Got a great square for our knight. Once we kick this knight out with c4, for example, then bishop f4 check is going to come with tempo. So yeah, I feel like we have a pretty good position. Okay, I mean, it's a great move, but can't say no to material. So I was thinking of this. There is e5, which is surprisingly concerning, but this is with a check, so I think we're okay with it. And obviously if the king moves, we take there. So now we're up 2 pieces. Let's make another threat, and next move, castles, rooks to central positions, and we should be good. Okay, start with the check. We're gonna take this pawn next. Other rook comes to the middle. All right, a nice boring move for me. After h5, we're threatening checkmate, bishop g5. Not saying it's gonna happen, but it's nice to be aware of these things. Bishop c6. Let's do this one. We could take this next. Just to simplify. GG. This is a perfect game to have right after that. We had the undefeated with white. Now I was ready to play the undefeated with black. I mean, pushing the pawn is never going to be dangerous. Play d6 maybe. Okay, hit this. Ready to castle, but to be honest with you, ready to play knight g4. If you think about this opening, like, right, what does he have to defend f2? Okay, now this gives me very strong bishop, of course. Taking this way lets me take on f1 at the end, very nice. But for example, if I took this, took back, queen d2, knight takes, rook takes, you know, there's two pieces out, queen's out, rook's on an open file, white's a move away from castling. I feel like I'm kind of behind there. So it's kind of hard to say what the best move is. I'm gonna take this way. There's this check, but I feel like we can block it easily. Now I have a real choice, honestly. Both of these moves look pretty good. I'm gonna choose the more natural looking one, but I was definitely thinking about this, obviously because it stopped long castle. I don't think it's a problem. A6 is a super useful move to get in these positions. Just that's where it can be used by so many pieces. This knight probably just f6 is fine. Oops, that's a piece for me. I feel like we can maybe try to offer a queen trade here. And if he doesn't want it, he's gonna have to put his queen on some kind of weird square. But we're not upset about this. I have an extra piece. Queen trade every single time. And I mentioned that I wanted to play a6 anyway, so if I can play it and get a trade, I mean, this is just great. Okay, finally we're gonna castle. I'm not gonna leave that forever. Okay, I'll bring the knight. I'll even play h5. Risky move. Like, I'm opening things up against my king, but to be honest, there's not really many pieces on the board, so it shouldn't be that scary. I think we can put this piece there, but we can also go here and put this piece there. But yeah, to illustrate how non-threatening it is, I'll even just move my king. Like rook here just doesn't, yeah, nothing's being threatened, to be honest with you. It's not mate if king c1. Credit to my opponent for playing it. this check and then go after the pawn. Maybe this one. I'll go like this for now. D5, take. Slowly get rid of the pawns. Something about, like, my opponent just has all the instincts that I would say are important. Hey, I thought the resistance was tremendous. E4, it's time for E5, knight C6. And against bishop C4, again, we're going with this move, knight E7. Again, we're going with knight G6. Remember, if knight G5, we can always just take it in this variation. It's not really an issue. We could go H6. I think we can do this, though. We stop this move. There is no knight G5. Seems like we're going to be getting this position a lot. Okay, H4. I mean, I think we can just take that. Looks a little suspicious. He might take and go G3. That would be friendly. Why was there no knight G5? Well, so here there's knight G5, but I don't think I mentioned it here. I was saying at this point there's no knight G5 because my queen's guarding it. Same thing here, same thing here, here. And then as soon as it was possible, I stopped it. Just having a think here. Yeah, if he takes, common follow-up mistake might be G3 to kick the queen, but I can also take that due to the pin. Just like I said. Bishop takes F2, threatens queen H3, checkmate. Queen H3 first. First of all, I have to move my queen. Let's start with that piece of information because it is now attacked. And the king goes back, knight d4. I think that should be pretty lights out. Threatening knight f3. I mean, knight e2, knight f3 is done. And f3 runs into knight takes f3, checkmate. So, I don't think there was any way to do it. It's kind of a weird situation. I can play knight f3. Takes, bishop takes here. And I think I'll do that because I'll follow up with this move, and then bishop h3 will be checkmate. It looks like I'm just doing this to attack the bishop, but really I'm like cooking up bishop h3. And queen to g2 checkmate. Essentially, all the new openings that we have in this series that you'll see presented with the black pieces, e4, e5, they generally have something to do with knight e7, knight g6 in almost all of them. So it's like a pattern, a little rerouting of the knight that we're enjoying lately. Let's go for another one. e5, okay. Something a bit more customary. We'll go with the 2 knights. Became the 4 knights, and hey, here we go. Knight d5, knight takes e4. So immediately, our opponent plays what I would say is honestly the most logical ways to proceed. Taking our center pawn, and then after d4, taking it again. Like, why the hell not? Here I am saying one of the most logical, and then knight takes f2. Like, what did he see there? There were so many squares you could have at least considered to move the knight. Oh, it was either going to be knight f6, bishop h6, or it was going to be knight f6 mate. Something bad was going to happen to the lad no matter what. Ouch. Pretty much everyone plays e4 at this rating, so we're going to get a lot of e4, e5s. Bring the knight out, of course. And all right, here we go, d4. The Scotch, we have seen it before in this series. Obviously, I said we wanted to do a lot of knight e7, g6, but we can't do that here. So we're going to be playing queen f6. Risky for sure. All right, knight here. Immediately, bishop b4 needed. Pin that thing before it gets to the crazy knight d5 square. Low dill. All right, here, bishop c4 played. I mean, taking looks... I mean, it looks scary, so I'm just going to do this and let him deal with the repercussions. I'll just say good luck and leave it at that. Okay. This looks like the piece for me. And look at that. Already a very successful situation. So this is another one. Knight takes c2. I win a pawn, but then I have to waste time getting back out again. I don't know if that's correct. I'm gonna just take the knight, so trade pieces, and then just go back. Look, I have an extra piece. I don't think we need to get too fancy here. Just want to make sure we develop, and that's it. We'll play bishop here probably because we want to... oh, okay. Well, we'll definitely play this. See where he's going. But very happy to execute some trades here. Hey, look. This might not be a good move, the best move. You can debate it. But... absolutely, you gotta give my opponent credit for realizing that he needs to do something before I castle. Otherwise, it's just over. So, I'll take it. But he's got the right idea. Because if I took with the knight, he would have f4, winning the piece back. So, definitely a tricky move. Hitting this and getting ready to long castle. But actually, with his last move, I can long or short castle, but truthfully, this is a good example of nothing bad's going to happen to me. I'm just winning material without risking anything, so I am going to go ahead and take it. And yeah, now we can probably just double the rooks and then trade on d1. Maybe rook here. Okay, rook behind. Maybe we can get a checkmate on h2 or f2. Okay, takes, rook takes, king there, and we make a queen. So for that reason, I think we're going to blunder and go here. Wow, that's amazing. He didn't take the rook. He actually... might have been better to take the rook, but I'm still pretty impressed. It's almost like he saw it. Oh, good game, buddy. Good game. All right. Let's go e4. We'll play knight f3, of course. And no, we're gonna go with the 2 knights and the Pegasus plunge. Absolutely. Takes. All right. This is everyone's favorite. The crowd favorite. Takes on d5. The fans were hoping for knight d4. They love that great, enjoyable rook endgame stuff. Knight b4 is interesting. So, if knight takes e5, queen e7, that's kind of a problem. d4, e4 is kind of an issue, but also d4 takes, because knight takes drops the pawn and queen takes drops the queen. I think c4 could be a big brain play, not because of like how good the move is, but because it will encourage d6 losing the game. That feels correct. Yeah, I think this will help us out here. I mean, a lot of moves that could be played. Oh my goodness, what a move. Gotta give him some credit for that. Now, still might run into some trouble, but credit where credit's due. Not playing d6 shows an amazing amount of restraint there. Wow. All right, well, let's play a3 because I'm tired of this knight breathing down my neck. Holy smokes. Wow. e4. It's an unbelievable move. The counterattack. My hands are up, man. My hands are up, you know? Takes and queen e7. Whoa, this guy's too strong for his own good. That's how strong he is. He's too strong. He was strong, but now he's a little bit too strong. It's now an issue. It's a problem now. But initially, he was just strong. Wow. I mean, what a roller coaster here. Just takes, eh? Does he even see that? I guess he does. He's pretty strong. Let's go for this. Bishop on b2 will be super tough to deal with, I would say. Just immediately need to bring this queen out. f6 kind of has to happen. Again, you know, we're impressed. We are impressed. Just bring this bishop back to make some kind of threat. I mean, dude, like, this move is elite. Queen g6, that's exactly what you need. We are impressed. All of us. It's an outrage that this guy is not going to get more credit here. It's an outrage. I'd like to award him, like, maybe not half a point, but 0.25, I'd say he deserved.